What a beautiful night. 12 degrees, but no wind, so it's not too bad. It's maybe a long hangout. Hello, Hammers. Hope you're having a pleasant day. It's 12 degrees here, but no wind, so it's not too cold.
Kiss for Hammers. I haven't got my phone on me to give you one.
That was a funny interaction. It was like throwing a lure out into a very small lake, Hammers, and a little fish keeps taking the bite. I just had to keep throwing him back. Hammers kisses you back. I hope it was you he's kissing. I've never been to that person's channel, but he was so easy to profile. He's got that angry, rebellious, life has treated me badly, so I'm going to be angry with the world type attitude.
Which your coffee will solve.
Coffee will fix it. What would you like, Hammers? Black? Strong as normal? I'll get Melton a bit of warm milk in a very small teacup. It should suffice. Obviously he's got problems. I'm not going to pick on him for his mental problems, but he's angry with the world, without doubt. Crying for the centre of attention on Coates' channel. So I thought I'd throw him a lure. Strong as Texas. I know you like it strong. I thought it was strong and black though. I thought Gerald did pretty good. He's probably been up to too long doing the hangout, but he's getting an interaction going with people, which is great. I tried to get him to take his light off his face because you can't even see the phone because the light was in his face, but he's doing okay. If there's one thing we can say about Gerald is that no matter what he says, he's honest. He gives his honest opinion. And a lot of people agree with him. I'm thinking Hammers are going away for a week or two. Haven't convinced the missus yet, maybe somewhere a little bit warmer. The house should be getting underway in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. So we could slip away somewhere warmer. Not that I hate winter, it's nice, but it'd be nice just to kick back, relax for a couple of weeks. We'll see what she says. Is that an ant crawling across the table? Hello, ant. Yeah, I've got a good friend in Canada that tells me summer seems to start and when you blink, it's ending. Depends when that Arctic wind decides to come down, I guess. But we've had a mild winter as far as daytime temperatures, but nighttime temperatures have been colder than normal. If we have a really cold winter, we tend to have a reasonably mild summer, but last year was the hottest on record here, so I don't like our chances. But the good thing about living in a house with air conditioning, doesn't matter how hot it is outside. There we go. Don't see any hands up at the window. Are you there in the kitchen? Oh, she's on the dunny. She's doing the business. Hello, Charlotte. Not at all. You're more than welcome. More than welcome. I was just saying to Hammers that I think Coates is doing a fine job interacting with his audience. And like I said to Hammers, if anything, Gerald is just honest. Whether you agree or disagree with his opinions, he just gives an honest point of view. I like that. That's refreshing on YouTube. A lot of people say one thing but do the other. And I was just teasing poor Melton. I've never been to his channel. I don't know who he is, but he'd be about 30, single, definitely single, without question, unemployed. Can't be employed when you've got a potty mouth like that. And doesn't like women. I'm pretty sure that's the picture that I've gathered. There we are. There's the ghost. Ooh, they can see ya. But yeah, he's. I think he's trying to be. I don't know him, but I presume he's trying to be a somebody, which on YouTube is not usually very successful. I laugh when people say, "I've got 3,000 or 4,000 subs, so I'm an international celebrity." Really?
Tonight we are having carrot cake.
Carrot cake tonight? Just cut a couple of... You want to bring it out here?
Oh, I'll just show the box.
All right.
Because you showed the chocolate one yesterday.
This is what we're having with our coffee. Carrot cake. It's got icing on top and walnuts by the look of it. I hope they're walnuts and not gravel. And it was a bargain. It was normally $4 and the wife spotted it for $2. Now you can see the cake in there without the glare. It's a carrot cake. Don't think I've eaten more cake in my life. Just cut a couple of slices with the coffee. Eh? Yeah, so Gerald's doing good. He's always been a bit reluctant to do a hangout. But if you think about what he does, he works for half the year and then he plays for the other half of the year. Brilliant. There's nothing wrong with that. And he obviously works in an industry that is hard work. And hard work never killed anyone. Well, might have, occasionally. But you know what I mean. Metaphorically. And he is just honest. And people have always said, oh, he's got all these learning difficulties. No. We all have our own difficulties. You don't need to label them. Do you know what I mean? He did mighty fine. Particularly trying to read comments in the dark with a light in his face. That's tough. I think he'll get a pattern shortly where he does a hangout once or twice a week. And he'll get a following, genuinely following him, what he does, cooking, work, sightseeing, because he's just a nice, affable young bloke who I don't know why you wouldn't like him. If he doesn't like somebody you like, that's for each of us to discern and say, okay, well, I like Gerald, but he doesn't like this person, so I won't like Gerald. No, that's not how it works. You like whoever you want to.
Moister than the
The
chocolate
cake has arrived, but I like to have a coffee and a cake, but I'm so tempted to eat hers. It's only brought 2 bits out. There we are. Slice of carrot cake. And yet I don't see any walnuts. That must be her piece. I can see one walnut. I think they lied on the labelling because there was a crap load of walnuts on the picture. But that's like going to McDonald's, isn't it? You see a picture on the wall, beautiful hamburger, little oozy bit of cheese, lettuce, tomato, and then you get yours. Do you have coffee cake in Australia? That's my favourite. We do, actually. I like coffee icing myself. Welcome, Malcolm. How are you? Whoops. Whoops. Looks like Awesome has arrived and timed you out. Oops, is what she said. I don't even know what he said. But he's welcome in here. Maybe we could have a father-son talk with him. You could probably hit the weights. I just had a quick look at one of your videos. I've never seen you before, Melton. But you got the arms of Pinocchio. You could do a little bit of, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm a really old man. Right? And I've got skinny arms like you, do you know what I mean? So maybe I should do a bit of a workout as well. But you're welcome in the room, as long as you behave yourself and you're nice to people and don't attack the women, because that's one thing we don't tolerate here. Do you know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure your time out will end shortly and we can converse. We can talk. No, that's all right, Awesome. It's your knee-jerk reaction to thump. I'm sure he's just misunderstood. That's right. That's the 100% answer. Hammers. Each one of us have a different level of education, intelligence, street smarts, if you like. I take everyone on an equal basis. I'm after their character. I don't care what numbers or PhD follow them or not. Never have been.
Awesome bit of me, did she?
Yeah, she just, Melton come in the room, she thumped him.
Is it the real one?
Yeah, we do actually. We had drum. I remember drum back in the old days. They still sell drum, don't they?
I don't know.
But I say Melton John in one breath with Anthony Perkins, the Christian Bale. Hello, MB. You funny little pixie.
So was it the real Melton John Awesome?
I don't know. Yeah. He, like I say, he sounds very much, I don't know him, but he sounds very much like someone wanting to be someone. Like, for a reason I don't know. I've always found the secret to life is just to be yourself. Giovanni the Third Cat, that sounds like Melton. Yeah, I used to be a profile of Melton. But that's what you get. I would suggest, Melton, you know, you've got a different name there, that if you could just try and be pleasant and be yourself.
Who's this?
Well, it's Melton, in a different name. It would help your life.
What? If that's Melton, then yeah, just friggin' hide that.
If my wife decides that Giovanni, hence Acker, Melton,
Is that
needs to be
Melton?
removed.
Is that Melton Awesome?
It is Melton, I can tell.
Well, we'll just hide him his comment and then give him another chance. But Awesome did right. Like,
Sounds like a kid, like if you broke, you know, his baseball bat. You didn't mean to.
I don't know, what am I doing
He would
here,
never
Awesome?
forgive you.
Oh, thanks, Awesome. Thank you.
Oh well, we'll have to come back as another name. That was easy to pick here there, Melton, by the way. Very easy.
Yeah, prove it was an accident.
You don't have to be angry.
Yeah.
Just come back as another name if you like, but just be pleasant. And you don't want to fight me, trust me. You really don't want to fight me.
So why did he say that you're a shit stirrer? Because you stuck up for the ladies.
I could see what Melton was doing. I don't know Melton, but I could see him being disrespectful towards women within about 5 minutes when the one in coats hang out. For some reason, he... don't ban Melton, please. I'm not banning anyone.
No. Awesome's just like, so he behaves himself.
No, you don't, Bucky. You don't want to fight a kangaroo. I'll tear you in half. Is the missus tall as well? No,
No.
actually, we'll show you. Okay.
I'm Mr. Ganger.
I don't know
by
if we'll both get in the picture. Do you want to come round here?
I'm Mr. Ganger, by the way, Charlotte.
This is my wife. She's cute and 5'2", and I'm a little bit taller. I am 6'5" and I am 245 pounds, but that's just how I'm made. I didn't design it, but I have got a coffee now and a piece of cake. See that? It's going down now.
Yeah, we've got carrot cake tonight, Awesome. Hey, Ozzy.
G'day, Aussie. It's funny, a lot of Aussie blokes are quite tall. Just the nature of the beast, I suppose. But a lot of Aussie women, a tall Aussie woman is about 5'10". That's a tall Aussie woman. My wife is 5'1" on a good day. Well, mine's 5'2", and every day's good.
This is nice.
But I've generally found that men who either inadvertently or slyly or lure to putting women down generally have a lot of trouble having one of their own, if you understand what I mean. It's usually, you know, the angers come out and I haven't kicked him at all.
What?
I can see you now, Melton. Welcome. Let's try and start on another foot, shall we? Give you an opportunity.
We'll leave it up.
I didn't bounce you, and I didn't time you out.
Awesome. It's up to you. I'm not
But,
taking like shit stuff.
I perceive that you, for some reason, Melton, are having a crack at a lot of women, having a go at them, if you like. I don't know why. That's my perception within a very short period of time. No, I'm coming to the US, Melton. I am.
Awesome. Is that the real one? Yeah, Awesome did it exactly, exactly. Accidentally, just like I did it to Nicole. Can you
You're onto
stop?
me,
You're swearing.
Melton. You are a nobody, and you have arrived at nowhere. Your importance of yourself, rating-wise, is
Thanks,
only being
Awesome.
promoted by yourself. You want to see people upset? Yeah, go for it. You bring your army, Melton. Bring them all. I've been around a long time.
A long time.
And I do have a wife, and I just showed you my wife. And I do have 5 kids, and I do have 8 grandchildren. Now tell me your lineage. What do you have? What's your wife's name? How many children do you
Thanks,
have?
Awesome.
And do you have grandkids?
Awesome. So quick and good at this.
Oh, Awesome's coming and just hit you over the head with a brick.
Yeah. What Charlotte? I've missed something.
See, I don't dislike Melton at all. I don't know Melton. I could tell by the way he was texting, he was alluring to the attention being on him.
I thought you were
Bring it to
throwing...
me. I'm important.
I thought you were throwing a
Which
line...
none of us are, Melton, by the way.
I thought you were throwing a line out to Melton. Why kick him?
I'm not.
Chacha, sorry, I'm sorry if I don't say your first name correct. He's welcome to come in here, but if he starts all that swearing and being nasty to the chat...
Oh, I didn't see him threaten to kill me. If he did that, I'll have him arrested.
Thanks, Awesome.
All the way over from Australia.
So, Chacha,
that's how that works.
So, Chacha, that's why. Like,
Hello, Watts. How you going?
he can come in.
Actually, we had a pie and
have a
chips
chat.
for dinner. Yep. Hammers has got his line of ancestry already worked out. A daughter and a granddaughter. I bet she gets spoiled as well.
Hi, Ree.
Yep, we had a busy day with the grandkids. And we decided tonight just to take it easy. Well, I did. We just bought some chips and a pie, and the wife had a sausage roll. Wasn't too bad.
Hey, Johnny.
No drama here. No drama.
Here comes our knight in shining armour. Awesome.
You don't want to mess when Johnny's around.
No.
There seems to be a lot of men, though, that are very sort of misogynistic.
We have 5 kids, MB, and
8.5 grandchildren.
yeah.
One's due in January. No, actually, we were over in the UK odds recently, and I came from the UK as a boy to Australia. And there was always pies everywhere in England, everywhere you went. But Johnny P's been over there, he'll back me up. Finding a pie in the British Isles is tough. It's like not many around. I found one in Ireland, which was okay. And then another one in Chester, I think, wasn't it? Not many. In Australia, there are pies everywhere.
Yes, I know how easily it's done. Awesome. It's like that night I accidentally did it to Nicole. If you, especially on a phone, if you click up or be too quick, you hit the wrong button.
Actually, JP, I just looked at the results of the footy on the weekend. We lost by a point, but it was a good game. But Sydney, they lost badly, I think, didn't they? I like pasties, I really do. 10 grandkids. It's funny that, Charlotte. I mean, there's some family members of mine on my mother's side. My mother came from 13 brothers and sisters. And most of them had kids, 5, 6, 7 kids. 2 didn't have any kids. And it was, I thought years later it must be because they didn't want to have children or couldn't. But it's a case of they really did say they just didn't want to have children. And if you think about 13 brothers and sisters with 5 or 6 kids, there's about 100 people. And if you're the younger sibling, and that was the case with the ones that didn't have children, you got all these nieces and nephews, hundreds of them. So I can see that was the reason why they didn't. They weren't gay, nothing like that. They just didn't want to have kids, got partners. But we come from a different world now. I mean, if people have 2 children in Australia now, it's like, that's unusual. Normally a lot of people settle at 1. They really do. It's the cost of raising children. I mean, putting kids through private school, I can tell you, is a very expensive exercise. Ozzy Shooter actually is going to be Premier of Western Australia in the future, mainly because all of his children will vote for him.
Awesome. Stop worrying about it.
I'm youngest of 5 and I'm 32. Hang on, I missed that. I'm 32, life just didn't plan it to have children in my 20s. Yeah, you got plenty of time though, Charlotte, plenty of time.
Awesome. It's fine, love. I know what it's like when you accidentally check something and then accidentally time someone out. But there's no need for him to come and talk like that.
Can I just say something to JP? To Ozzy? If Ozzy gets elected in the Parliament, he will be the Minister for Alcohol and Gaming. That's a certainty. He'll make it statute law. Beer, marijuana, and alcohol is free. Yeah, it's strange, Hammers. I suppose if I said to you today, and not when it happened with you and your family over that issue, today it wouldn't be an issue. Wouldn't even be raised, because I grew up in the same period, or a bit earlier than you, where you couldn't say anything. In school you get beaten up by teachers. What part of Australia do you come from? I'm on the west coast of Australia, same as Ozzy Shooter. The best state. Actually, our state is huge, trust me. We had an earthquake today here, Ozzy. Did you hear about that? 6.5 on the Richter scale.
Yeah.
And apparently they felt it from Port Hedland down to Esperance. And I never felt a bloody thing. You? No, earthquakes here are rare as hen's teeth. I remember in the late 60s in a town called Meckering, they had a fairly big one and had a lot of old stone buildings on a lot of clay soil. A few of them fell down. Yeah, 6.5 just off the coast of Port Hedland.
Yeah.
I think there's a few YouTube video ups by now. That's a big earthquake for our state. I think Meckering in the late 60s was 6.9 or something like that. But we don't get earthquakes as general rule. Nah, no tsunami. No tsunami. Yeah, that's Aussie farting, they registered. What's the biggest city in my state of Western Australia? Perth. Approximately in the Perth and the greater area of Perth, about 3 million people. So it's not small. It's a very beautiful city. We've got a lot of trees everywhere. And a river runs through the middle of it.
There's the ghost train.
Yep, sounds like the ghost train's coming early tonight. But I'm sure young Melton will get over it. He's just got to realise he's got to be a bit more pleasant with people. Stop being a dick.
Oh, people can come in.
Yeah, you got to come down. You'll love it here.
People can come and have a disagreement or a chat,
From
whatever.
goes to Detroit.
But like Awesome says, don't disrespect people. He disrespected you as well, Awesome.
He's just an angry little thing, I think. You don't get anywhere in life being angry, trust me. We've got some very experienced people in this room know what I'm talking about. MB would tell you. You get nowhere being angry. Do what?
So it MB right?
No, I missed that.
I just assumed it was too busy creating another baby. Didn't feel the earthquake.
Okay. Rosie Kelly came to Perth and loved it.
I didn't realise she'd been
No,
to Perth.
I didn't know she'd been here. Headed to England to see his family with my first time. You'll love it. Look, Charlotte, make sure you get to go to Ireland. Seriously, you've got to go there. Yeah, it does, Aussie. It's a very wasted emotion. And it's futile. But a lot of the things that we love about going to different countries, and I've said this before, and it is true, no matter whether there's magnificent castles or beautiful vistas, it's the people that make the trip interesting. Hello, Kitten Cat. But it is, wherever you travel, it's the people of that country that make it interesting. Yes, true hammers. South London. Probably went past you recently. We just got back from the UK. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Aussie. Like I said, I've only just met him in Coates' room, and he's obviously angry, very single, and you can see the undertone of having to go at women all the time. I don't know why that is. It might be a reason that we don't know. But if he could just be himself and not so angry, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
Yeah, so that's the thing. People don't like to be picked up
It's true.
on when, like, you picked up on
Is that my
what
piece
he
of
was
cake?
doing. Yeah.
I got an extra piece of cake.
So you were just having your say.
Yeah, you said Scotland. We only saw a bit of Scotland, but I'd been to Scotland many times as a boy, and it was like this all the time, JP. And my auntie-in-law in Edinburgh, my God, and you'll know what I'm talking about. I'd sit at her table, there'd be cakes and, you know, drinks, and she'd be going, "Oh, make sure you have it in and don't, until you..." And I'd go, okay. Didn't understand a word.
Hey,
She
Mel.
said, "G'day, Mel." She spoke so fast. It's always misty and cold. We used to go to Scotland in about November, which is bloody cold, but it was the wind, my goodness. No, I think what you've hit on there, Awesome, is that
Yeah,
I think he
yeah.
thinks the whole world's out to get him,
Yeah, awesome.
which it's not true. Most of the world are good people. Melton's just got to meet them
But
and not
yeah.
be angry. Like I say, I don't even know him, but he's an angry little bugger.
I mean, people, we say funny things to each other, or you have a bit of a go in a joke way, but what he was typing wasn't a joke.
He's just angry. And the people in here, because I don't boot anyone, but people in here who do have wrenches decide to do so, I
Yep.
won't question them.
Exactly, because Awesome's always a good judge. And she's quick. She's quick.
Look, I mean, I like quirky people too, Hammers, don't get me wrong. But not offensive people that are misogynist, that seem to have a go at women. I could get that undertone in 5 minutes about where he was going with some of the conversation. And I'm thinking, whoa, this guy's a young bloke, obviously single because he don't like women, or he likes them but can't get them.
Oh well. So where else do you want to go, Charlotte?
You got to go to Ireland. I would, and I've got friends, Rick and Deb, they may be getting a place in Ireland, won't they?
Oh, they're still talking about it.
I think Atlantis does exist because they found the remnants of it about 9 years ago, Kit Kat. You Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Without question, whether due to sea rising or the fact that the city sunk through an earthquake, which is probably, g'day Kathy, probably more the case. It's in a very seismic zone where it is. But yeah, a big city, whether they called it Atlantis or not, has been found. So,
What did Bucky write? Atlantis is the Azores. Azores? Is that how you say it?
no, he's talking about the Azores. It's the ocean around that area. But yeah, Charlotte, get to Ireland, you'll love it. 38 years as a person and now you miss travelling. It's funny that I've known a man and a woman who were hostesses on Qantas when I used to be a prison officer. They became prison officers. And they'd always be saying, "No, I made a mistake, I should have stayed." Because they had, like they said, they'd have tight schedules. They'd turn around the next morning sometimes. But most of the time you've got 3 or 4 days in different countries because of you do, like a truck driver, an air hostess does up hours. And when those hours are reached, you've got to have X amount of time off. And I think it's even more strict these days. But they said, look, the money's better as a prison officer, but they would have preferred to stay in their old job. Donegal's beautiful. Right on the ocean is beautiful. Actually, it's all ocean in Ireland. But the people are so friendly. I felt like I was back home. And if JP's there, maybe he could say what he thought. But I felt I was meeting people from my own country. Because we got heaps of Irishmen here. I'm missing a lot of the chat.
Okay, so Kitten Cat Road, I've been reading about it. I know you're talking about the Richard structure in the NW Africa. I think Hamid mentioned Africa before.
Are they talking about Alexandria?
It's also called the
or
Eye of
Atlantis?
Africa. And then Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, Atlantis, the word itself conjures up or folklore, maybe just a story. But most stories that are handed down through time, that stay stories, usually are based on some fact. Whether it's not quite the story you're hearing now.
And Itchy just came into the
Hello,
show.
Itchy.
Itchy said Atlantis was created as a literature device, a hook to hang. Well, see, I believe there is an Atlantis.
Well, they've found structures
Yeah.
in the area that has been pinpointed as where Atlantis would have been. And it was found by seismologists, actually, strangely enough, doing readings and then getting things caught on certain structures. So they exist. I mean, like I say, archaeologists and anthropologists suggest that there are many cities under the ocean that used to be above sea level, but are no longer. Pale chicks with blue eyes. You're quick, awesome, I'll give you that.
Yeah, she is.
But no. I like I say, a lot of myth and things and storytelling gets bundled in, and some people then fill in the gaps themselves and make a story. But it doesn't matter where you are on the planet, it is a beautiful planet. And if you can and you are capable and you have the money to do so, go and look at it. It's all different. It's all, you're out of your comfort zone when you're in foreign countries. I don't mean completely out of your comfort zone, but sometimes you don't understand their language. But believe me, when you're in a country, even for a short period, you will pick up some of the language.
Did you read what Kitten wrote?
No, what kid?
Archaeologists don't seem to want to be bothered with possibility of any civilization older than 5,000 years. Oh, no, I think they do.
Yeah, I know what Kit Kat's alluding to, but you know, it doesn't matter whether you believe in 5,000 years of Christianity or whether you believe in evolution. We all began somewhere, wherever that was. There is no argument there. I do not believe the planet is only 5,700 years old, at all. And, you know, if the book says that's the case, well, that's what they can believe in. But what about, say, there is a God, okay? But he created the earth 5 billion years ago. I don't have a problem with that. It doesn't sort of fit the story, though, in some books. You know what I mean?
Archaeology, I can't say that word.
Nothing to do with me, Vaki. I was on a different planet.
It's very interesting watching those shows, or when they dig up history and find things, isn't it? Like archaeology.
Yeah.
You say that word. I'm doing an awesome.
I think one of the things that I've noticed in particular, I'm sure my wife has as well, there are lots of similarities with peoples, even though you speak different languages. Most people on this planet just want to have a fairly good life, want their kids to be well educated, don't want any trouble, and just want to get on. And yet we have all these wars. It takes people sometimes a lot longer, Hammers. And what is maturity? I mean, that's an opinion, isn't it? But I think it's more to reach an age of reason where you just accept sometimes the unacceptable. You nod in the direction of the person who's saying it, and you don't argue with them because it's futile. When someone is so inset and indoctrinated in a certain way, and you've experienced that in your life, Hammers, there's nothing you can say that will change. Whether they're right or you're wrong. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't matter. It's set in concrete. Like some people will formulate opinions of others based on a brief interaction. Well, that's a fool's way of doing it. You must give people enough rope until they get it go real tight, and then you can snap it if you so choose. Oh, I keep missing combo.
Yeah, your ears do get sunburned easy. That's true if you don't protect them.
But I won't be doing much longer in this hangar because I'm pretty sure Awesome will be firing one up shortly. Yeah, I remember that quote. Did you? But we sometimes give justification for a belief based on the fact that we were indoctrinated, not because we've, studied, learned, discerned between questions and answers. We're just taught that way, so we have to go that way.
I've never heard that quote.
Well, one of Winston Churchill's quotes, which is on my wife's new video over there, was basically never give up the fight.
Yeah, never give up.
And if you happen to argue with someone, at least you're standing up for something. Makes a lot of sense. Odin protects me and mine. That's Aussie saying him and his 300 children in Western Australia. Yep, I've read a lot of those quotes. It's very hard for you having an opinion when someone tries to justify their side of an opinion, or argument if you like, where they're not willing to move or compromise, because then it's not a conversation, it's just an argument.
Okay,
G'day,
Charlotte.
Farmel, how you doing?
Charlotte's going to quickly mow her lawn and she'll be back if we're still on. So
All right.
This must be a small yard.
That's my imaginary friend. But I think the quote of the night, or the sentence that sticks in my mind, is what Hammers said earlier about when do we actually mature? Well, we really don't. We do on certain levels, but we all have that same inbuilt, inalienable sort of thought that we're still 30. And I ain't. But it does allow you then to be a little bit flippant and funny. Hello, Life for Diane. But it does, when you get older, allow you to sit back and just listen to someone and realise they're talking nonsense, but not say anything, because they're the fool on display. Again, that's an opinion, not a fact. But when people will discern between what is right and wrong, it's usually coming from a biased point of view, their point of view. So I don't argue with anyone about religion at all. I'm happy you've got one. I don't have a problem with that.
I
have my own beliefs.
I think it might be you, Diane. She says she's buffering. Maybe someone else can say if they're buffering.
Well, if you're buffering, Diane, I hope it turns out shiny. It's probably my end. I got a low battery warning not too long ago, so I'm about 5 minutes away.
And you didn't tell me that. I'll go get your charger. Well, it could be seeds then.
I don't know. All right, might be Diane. Just refresh, Diane. There's plenty of foolish statements that have been made over the years that have actually turned out to be true. But at the time, the general thought, consensus was that it was nonsense. Like, one day man will be flying in objects in the sky.
Yeah.
There was a religious outbreak against such talk. And I'll give you the reason why. Some religious groups got angry about man wanting to fly, because a lot of religious groups at the time, and it's not exclusive to one of them, by the way, it's quite a phenomenon at the late 1870s right through to early 20th century, where, how dare you try and reach God by going into the sky? I kid you not. There was a lot of religious attacks on people. But mind you, a lot of inventors over the years got attacked for things like the light bulb. It's the devil's work, I tell you. Look at that Eileen. That's the devil's eye looking at me. Many of the newly installed lights in major cities around the turn of the century were smashed. Okay, you can Google it if you like, but it's true, because a lot of people thought they were demons. I'm not making it up, but when you think about the logic, you've never seen anything like that in your life, and you walk past the meadow and there's this glowing orb on the edge of the road. You probably want to kill it. But there was a religious backlash in a big way about man wanting to reach the skies to be closer to God. But that's not the first time something like that would have happened, I'm sure. It's like the truth of the matter, electric cars. Well, at the beginning of having vehicles, the most common car on the road was an electric car. But then they realised they didn't go too far. But I kid you not, most of the vehicles on the road originally were electric vehicles. It's true. And now it's sort of coming back. I don't even care if people worship Satan. It doesn't bother me. I'm not affected by their belief. I'm not offended by their beliefs. I don't care if you worship donkey tails. May the ass be with you, is all I can say. Because it's irrelevant. Each one of us have our own view on what that is in life, the meaning of it, and what purpose we're supposed to serve in it. Why, is there no purpose at all? Is it just mere chance that we existed? Does it matter? It's more important that what you do with your life. Being angry, though, ain't the answer, young Melton.
No.
Try to be pleasant, like I say. It's a lot easier to catch flies with honey than vinegar.
But what makes you angry is when you stub your little toe.
Oh, I hate that.
That
I
is
got feet
painful.
the size of Bigfoot, all right? They're monstrous things.
Oh,
We've got legs on leather couches and whatever. Or even just kitchen table chairs. And it's always my little toe. Just
Yeah.
my little toe that will cusp the bottom of a table and go, whoop. I don't know how many times I've broken the bloody thing. Look, I missed.
Kitten Cat says, I'll be impressed though if they get a plane off the ground on electric instead of fossil fuel.
They've already done it, kitten. They went round the world. Breaking news, Kitten Cat. They've flown around the world non-stop in an electric plane. And in Australia, and I know Aussie can back me up here, maybe JP, it's statute law by 2030, 50% of our vehicles have to be fully electric. It's a law. Why do you think all the car manufacturers are rushing towards electric cars? Because they have to. Size doesn't matter. That's true. I'm sure it hurts just as bad.
Yes, yes. I haven't got over big feet, but yeah.
But stubbing that or ripping a toe on the leg of a table, it's like you're really angry and mad and
Yep. It does.
you can't hit anyone.
Brings you to your knees. Or a paper cut.
And it's like tears in your eyes. I'm not crying. No, not crying. Go back, go back. No, see, I didn't cry. Well, the price of electricity is terrible. We got our electricity bill recently, and for the period, I think it's 2 months, it was $65. Even though you can see lights blazing everywhere. We generally don't have many lights on. We only have the light that we're in the room. We don't watch a lot of television. Even when we do the extension, we're putting on solar panels and a battery. LEDs save you money. There's no question about that.
Yes, everybody has a right
Yeah.
to be angry sometimes.
I agree. Everyone has the right to be angry and have a purpose. But if that purpose is just to be a dick, it's not really a purpose. I don't know the kid. He just seems very angry. But yeah, electric cars are everywhere here now in Perth.
I don't know. Uber.
A bit scary actually, 'cause you can't hear them. Just a...
Oh, so you're saying, Diane, that in Washington, Uber is going to have electric cars. Is that what you're saying?
We're going to have in Perth, apparently in 4 years' time, there will be 100 Uber cars with no drivers.
Yeah.
You'll call them up on your phone. It will arrive. It will actually go doo-doo. It'll send a message to your phone. Outside waiting. You'll get to the car. You'll scan something on the outside. Apparently that's how it's going to work. The doors will open. There'll be no driver. It will say journey beginning.
I think that'd be a bit scary.
And off you go. Just imagine sitting in a car and there's no one there.
Well,
Jeez.
what if you can't get out? What if the locks don't work? I think that'd be scary.
Well, it's coming. They've already got them, haven't they, Diane? Flying taxis, where they have ports.
Oh.
They have little ports over the cities where you can get in. I think they take a maximum of 3 or 4 people, and you get on board. There's no driver. It lands you at the next port that you've decided to go to, and it waits for its next call. But trains are like that now. Aussie, particularly down in the south there, they're going to be running driverless trains shortly. In fact, there'll be no jobs for anyone. You just have to all go swimming and fishing.
There's already driverless trucks in the mining up north.
Yeah, our daughter-in-law drives, is it 14 or 15? Something like that. 14 or 15 dump trucks at the same time. She does it from an office in Perth, and
1,000 kilometres away?
she drives 15 of them, and there's no one in them. None. If you've ever seen a dump truck, be very afraid.
Yeah, the big haul packs, Aussie, you know, up north in the mining town. So she's down Perth, controls them, and there's no drivers.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be something you'd throw money at, because it's the idea, isn't it, Hammers? It's not really the merchandise we're talking about. We're talking about the idea of what Uber is, and that is simple profit margins. No wages to pay. Apparently with these cars, these Uber driverless cars, they have self-diagnostics after every trip. Apparently it runs through a program, and if it looks like there's something that may be coming up that's an issue, the car drives itself back to the depot and goes into the maintenance section. Incredible. All it needs to do now is make a ham and cheese sandwich as you're driving. Thanks very much.
And a cup of coffee.
Yeah. But cars are going to change as well. I've seen a few of the futuristic driverless cars. In fact, there is no steering wheel. It's not required. So it becomes like a lounge. And you'll have first class Uber cars, you know, just normal mundane Uber cars. You'll have limousine Uber cars. You're taking the people.
Alright, Itchy, did you read what Itchy wrote?
As you're on, well, I'm going to hold my hand up at the Humpty Doo pub, just outside Darwin, near Howard Springs. Me and my mate were drunk as skunks. And on the wall of the Humpty Doo pub, there was a huge big buffalo. And I mean horns, massive. And we're sitting there saying, I've got to go to the toilet. He's saying, yeah, me too. And they used to have the real big pit tins underneath, cigarette butts and all that. And we did urinate in that. The barman came over and said, boys, don't do that again. You want another beer? Yeah, thanks.
So it's not true then?
But that's a true story.
No, I'm talking about that there in the Northern Territories there's urinals around the pub bar.
No, you get arrested.
Are you going to
talking
open
about the
up
early 70s.
shortly after Brekkie Awesome?
She's got to feed the mash unit first.
She's doing choc chip pancakes and sausage patties. Oh my God, you've got to video this Awesome.
I did bacon and eggs for one of the grandkids, the wife and me today. Baked beans and crumpets as well. It was yum.
So, well, when you're ready, Awesome.
Just give us the hoy.
If you video them and send them to me, Awesome, I can edit anyone out of it for you.
Like I say, I don't know Melton, Aussie. He just seems angry. And I think that, you know, the undertone you can see people texting in regards to women, even in their texting. Well, you can convert that, because people type just like they talk. That's a fact. There's no difference. If you can read what people are saying, and you wait a little while and you watch what they're saying, and then you get a pattern form. You realise that if they were talking, they'd be saying it the same way. So I have no misgivings that young Melton is angry with either a woman or women in general, when if he just tried to become a little bit more pleasant, life would be better. I mean that, sincerely. Going through your whole life angry, it's not a good return, trust me.
I think Awesome meant to write, I will be back later. She put, I will be IAB.
What's that?
I don't know, I think she meant to
I will
say,
be.
she'll come on when she's done the brekkie.
But getting back to Coates' hangout, I thought he did a fine job. I really do. Like I say, if nothing, Coates is very honest in what he says, whether you agree with him or not. It's irrelevant. He just speaks from his heart and says it as he feels, which is refreshing. A lot of channels are a little bit deceptive, misleading.
Yeah, I know, but
He's not. He's just straight up tells
Yeah.
you how he feels.
But sometimes you can say the same thing. The same thing can be said two different ways. Meaning, one can be said without a heap of cussing and yelling and carrying on, but you can say the same thing calmly and in a normal voice.
Yeah, but if it's in your nature to cuss and swear, it's hard to change.
There's a bit of swearing. We all do. That's fine. Or swearing at a situation, or having that's fine. But to physically swear at somebody in their face.
Yeah, it's like I didn't say apparently Melton was going to kill me, but I wish him luck. A couple of people have tried, Melton. I don't know why you'd say things like that online. I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to kill you. Why would you say stuff like that?
Yeah, like there's no problem with swearing. People swear in the chat.
Yeah, it's in context though,
yeah,
isn't it,
that's
Aussie? It's in
That's-
context. Like if you're now,
yeah.
have you put the effing kettle on?
Yeah,
Oh, you useless effing prick. Put it on.
yeah, it's in context. That's what I
So,
meant to say.
is it having a go? Yeah, sort of, but that's Australia. So it's different.
Yeah, or in a
mean,
funny way. Yeah.
You can say the same words in Australia and it can either be extremely aggressive or it's just taking a piss out of someone. And how you say it, the context, is where it differs. Like, I've seen so many fights, but usually they're over nothing. I'm sure Aussie would know what I'm talking about. There's usually an argument and a fight over something that's not that important, but there was always something brewing. It wasn't the actual item or the time of the fight that was important. It was always going to happen. That's how it happens, no matter where you are in life. I remember years ago, I was out with some friends and kids, probably about 16, 17, were just running amok in the street. And they came in and they verbally abused me like you wouldn't believe. And everyone was saying, oh, why don't you do something? And I'm thinking, you'll see, we'll just wait. Well, we got outside and we got back to the car park and I pointed to a crowd of about 200 kids. I said, that's why. I said, there's two little skinny buggers that come in and have a go at me. Trust me, wouldn't have been a problem, but there were 200 out there. I got 3 kids at the time and family members who would have got hurt. Horses for courses. Different circumstance. I'd have used them for wing nuts. I've only seen one, at a sports stadium once. There was a stampede. Some dick yelled out, "There's a fire," and apparently he was just joking. But about 1,000 people tried to get through an exit that could only take about 3 people wide. About 8 people got really injured over nothing.
What was that?
It was at a footy game, and someone said, "Oh, there's a fire."
Oh,
And we're on Wooden Stadium at the time. And so it was about the same time that British soccer,
yep.
in the 80s when the British soccer game, the fire burnt.
Yeah.
So everyone's thinking that. I actually just stood up against the rail thinking, Jesus, there was just people, a flood of people. And I thought, I ain't going in that. I thought, I'm going to go in the Oval. Why are you going down there? Grass doesn't burn.
Well, if it's dry, it will.
No. But yeah, no, about 8 people got really serious. One had a broken neck because people would just cram and fall over each other. And in really bad stadium crushes, people have died in large numbers. So I was always conscious of that. I'm thinking I'm heading for the grass.
Isn't there a bad one overseas? A fight at a
Oh, soccer stadiums have lost many people's lives. There's a big one where there was barriers set up to stop people going through, and a big surge of people came down, and I don't know, 50, 60 people died because they were crushed. And officially I can tell you that YouTube is not my business. Okay? You see the super chat down below and the links to PayPal. Streamlabs up the top there. Amazon in the corner.
Yeah.
And of course brown paper bags are available to drop off early in the morning. Used $50 notes.
Yeah.
Just chuck them on the front lawn.
Because we need it for our US trip next year.
Yeah. Father Time should have his own business. You'll be Father Time one day, Ozzy.
No, he's talking about your video.
I know he
relates
is.
to your video.
I know he is. But yeah, I mean, we're going to a footy match a couple of weeks from now, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll
Got
try
my daughter's team, which is Essendon, playing my wife's team, which is Fremantle. So I'm safe. I'm Eagles. But we're going to that game at Optus. It's beautiful stadium.
Live stream a bit just to give people the sense of being live with us at the game.
Yeah, you can watch a big game on telly, but it's totally different. We actually, in the middle of Frankfurt, MB, we were sitting outside a cafe. And I swear to you, 1,000 supporters walked past in about 2 minutes like warriors.
Oh, God, yeah.
And there was, all of a sudden, there was like only a couple of police in the middle of Frankfurt. There were 500 police. They were airlifted in. And we had, about 3 days later in Frankfurt, there was something to do with the immigration laws in Germany, and all these Lithuanians and other people from other parts of the world were marching to get some sort of recognition because they were displaced people, and Germany doesn't give them any unemployment and money and stuff like that. So there was hundreds of police then. But, you know, in Earl's Court, we happened to be in Earl's Court outside a pub, strangely enough, having a beer. And thousands of supporters came through. They're going to Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, that's right. That's another thing.
And the police just shut everything down. They closed the railway. They closed the roads. And it was like warriors. You know what I'm talking about, MB. They actually chant their warrior songs. And it must be back in medieval times. Oh, you love Fremantle, mate. Beautiful.
Well, we've got to go to Fremantle in a couple of weeks. We'll do a video for you, Habit.
Yeah, we'll do a video.
What do you want to see in Fremantle?
Oh, he's talking about the architecture.
All the old buildings?
The wife's got a video on, or is it on my channel? Fremantle Prison. Yours?
Yours. I don't think I ever put it up on mine yet.
I've got if you typed in Fremantle Prison and my name, Seeds to Freedom, you'll see a little bit of the architecture and the prison, of course. But Freo is the oldest part of our city. Oh, they don't treat it as a game, Aussie. It's not a game, it's a war.
Oh, you were born in Freo, was he? Wow.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, the old buildings. Well, we can do that,
Yeah,
Hannah.
Aussie was born in Freo. In the exercise yard, wasn't it, Aussie? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I've actually got to go to the, oh jeez, I can't remember the name wall, down Freo.
Oh yeah, Mandy's wife, Mandy's mum, she landed in 1953?
No, in
52?
No, 1960.
No, it was the 50s.
No, it was April 1960.
And apparently there's a wall down at Freo of all the immigrants that came in with their names on them. So we haven't found that yet.
No, Mum's name's not on there, but I have to find out where I can spread her ashes.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some of her ashes that she wanted to be spread on the place she landed in Australia, which I think is very poignant.
So we can
and on that note, I'm going to go for a slash. If you don't know what a slash is, ask Aussie.
Yeah, but I can't read the chat off your phone. I have to look down on mine. So I'm not ignoring you. Make sure you wash your hands.
Yes, Bob.
Oh my god, kitten cat, yeah. Oh, you're back, Johnny P. Hey, you didn't have shower cam on, JP. Caesar's just gone for a wee. Just thought I'd share that with you. Yeah, we'll do some filming for you, Hamid. Oh, is that for real, Aussie shooter? Gosh. I hope he can't hear him because the door's open. Have you closed the door? I should tape it. Oh, okay. Well, I can't believe anything. Oh my god. He's washed his hands. Oh, gee. Close the door. I heard you go to the toilet. Because
Man's got to do what a man's got to do.
you left both doors open.
I never close the dunny when I go for a slash. What's your problem then? Yeah, you'll love Freo hammers. If you come to Western Australia hammers, you're welcome to stay here, and I'll take you around Freo. Not a problem.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm totally lost now with Aussie Shooter's story. I believe anything. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, the offer stands, mate. If you come here, we'll pick you up at the airport, get you drunk, let you sleep a couple of days, get used to the heat. You know, middle of winter, it's 22 degrees, mate.
So Hamid said he has an old troll friend named Cass Cook who frequented Fremantle. She was most outspoken woman.
If you've got an international car licence, you can take one of my cars. Take the BMW. The ashtray's empty.
Where are you hiding the BMW?
Just behind the windows over there. Now, we're probably going to get another car shortly, but we don't want to get rid of the old one. Because that's a beaut car. It's only done 110,000 Ks and it's 2007 Hyundai Sonata. Drives like a dream, but we drive on the left-hand side, Hammers. Not the wrong side, the left-hand side. We were thinking of hiring a car when we get to North America, but
No.
there's two reasons. One, yeah, it's on the right-hand side, but I get used to it. It's like $40, $50 a day to hire a decent car, and how long do you use it for? And if I get a cab from here to the major city, it's $10, $15, maybe a little bit dearer over there, but I can go there and then I can have a drink. If I hire a car, no drinking, as Chopper would say. Drive car, no drinking.
Oh my God, Ozzy, you're telling all these stories. You're just going to confuse me.
What's that?
He says
I'm
1
stuck
minute
with
that,
3 mates, 1 male nurse, so one of them is my daddy.
and then he says further on that his mum slept with a what is it? What were you? Prison officer. So he's confused.
I've heard that
me.
happen a few times too. It's usually female prison officers.
He's confused me. I'll believe anything, Ozzy. Okay. I was joking before, but the last story is true. Now, how do I know whether to believe you or not?
We had two uncles used to come into the prison, and this is not made up, Aussie. Aboriginal boys from Wiluna, one from Mika and one from Wiluna, and they were brothers. And then they come and saw 3 of their kids, all boys. And I used to play footy against one of the guys, and I said, "Which one of your kids are you coming to see?" And he says, "I don't know. One of them." True story. I don't know. One of them, we think. But yeah, that's a true story. So they come to see 3 boys, two were fathered by one, and one was fathered by someone. He's got my eyes. Yeah, that was funny.
I mean, I don't know, you know, when you're young and you have all these romances, not everybody tells their partner. There's quite a few cases where a woman's popped up and said, well, actually, this is your child. Oh, okay.
Ozzy? Are you my daddy? Ozzy, I got your blue eyes.
I think you're old enough to be Ozzy's dad.
And I wear chainmail underwear. Is your name Sue? Johnny Cash. You that will come. I don't know. I don't know. Was in prison.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I think he's old enough to
No,
be. I don't know
I'm
how
definitely not
old.
your father. You see, genetically, I've still got hair. Case dismissed.
Yeah, well, you used to work in the prison system, Ozzy. No, I'm not your mother.
Young love is the most beautiful thing ever. Yes, it is indeed. But at the time, you don't think that.
Hey, Buttercup.
Hello, Buttercup. Whoa, 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 oh, oh.
What's new, pussycat?
Yeah. But I don't know if she's still here. That lady who was going to go to the UK definitely go to Ireland.
Charlotte. No, she went to mow the lawn.
Oh, right. Yeah. MB's been to Ireland.
MB Buttercouple. Oh,
Buttercuppy?
Cuppy.
Sounds like a brand name. Are you wearing a Buttercuppy? Who designed that dress? Buttercuppy. But Ireland is beautiful. People are very friendly. And I was saying earlier, I forgot to finish what I was saying. We've got close friends that are actually probably going to live 6 months in Ireland and 6 months back in Australia. And if they've got a house there, they will welcome us there.
Or Rome. Yeah, 6 months Rome, 6 months
I thought they were
Ireland.
going to have somewhere here still.
Yeah, still here.
So they'll come back for a few months here.
And maybe 6 months in Rome or, yeah.
Yeah, but I could spend 6 months in Ireland without a problem.
Yes, it does sound sweet, Buttercuppy.
There's something about the Irish that they're diligent, they're very loyal, and they're easygoing.
Okay.
See you later, Ozzy. Have a good one, mate. But they're very easygoing and welcoming is the word I would use. Very welcoming. Dog's getting fed next door. Always scratches on the door at night. Get a feed. Give me a feed, you mongrels. But Awesome must be just about here.
Well, she was making chopped chip pancakes and
Sunday morning
sausage
now, isn't it? Yeah.
patties.
Something about Sunday and bacon. Should be law, do you know what I mean? A Sunday without bacon is a sad day. We had ours. Bacon, eggs, crumpets, baked beans, and some tomato. Kilkenny, yeah, beautiful. It's, you know what I'm saying, MB, they're like relaxed, welcoming, like they've known you for a long time. They've just met you. Aussies are like that too, but we've got a lot of Irish in our culture as well. Hammers, there's no better feeling than falling in love for the first time.
As a dumb kid.
As a dumb kid. Yeah, this, like I say, we're going to America and Canada. Definitely going to spend probably more of the time in Canada, I think, as a general rule. We definitely want to see some friends and family in Philadelphia.
We have to...
Sorry, in Pennsylvania. One's in Philadelphia.
We'll work that out a bit better. I mean, our other trip was good,
But we're probably just going to hop with the aeroplanes, trips between major cities. We could take a bus tour, but then we're limited to when they want us to get up and go.
I know a small bus tour would be alright and get off at a stop, and like that couple did, they got off at
Well, you can get a train pass that can let you do that.
Yeah. Somebody said don't do the trains in America. They said,
No, it's mainly Canada I'm talking about.
yeah, I'm sure somebody said don't do trains in America. I'm not sure.
When you see first hairs on a woman's hairy ooh-la, that sounds like War of the Worlds. Ooh-la. So were we being invaded with young female parts from a different planet? Ooh-la. That's a novel name for it. How's your ooh-la going? Oh, all right, yeah. A few little hairy bits growing on it. Going all right? But I loved Ireland for that question. Itchy, worse for the female, trust me. Yes, I like H.G. Wells. If you read the books first and saw some of the movies didn't do the books much justice, but they were good enough.
Did he do War of the Worlds?
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
I even listened to the CD. It's good.
Mm. Yeah, Jeff, what was his name, that did the CD with famous actors in there, of course.
I used to have that CD.
I've got it still somewhere. It's a double CD.
CD, yeah.
No one would have believed at the turn of the 20th century that man would be studied like under a microscope from beings far more intelligent than us.
Yeah, we went to Kilkenny.
Yep, Kilkenny was lovely. I actually fell in love with that West Coast, Dingle, and the Dingle Way. Beautiful, rugged coastal country, raw, you know, very beautiful.
What else did H.G. Wells write?
Well, we'll do a test. Okay, Hammers is going to cheat here because he knows all of them. Question 1. How many H.G. Well, we'll make it movies because a lot of you wouldn't know the books, but how many H.G. Well movies have been made? Ooh la. Hammers will be flying off the handle here. JP says 68. The answer is no. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how many movies have been made. I think there's only a few.
2.
Journey to the Centre of the Earth
That's the one I
and
was
War of the Worlds is what I would come up with straight away.
I watched that as well. Journey to the Centre of the Earth. How many, Hammock? Was it 2?
The only 2 I can think of.
I'd have to Google it.
The old radio show that Orson Welles did about the War of the Worlds was based on
Time Machine, yeah.
Time Machine. There we go.
That's right.
I think that was about in the 90s they made that movie at the time.
Diane, it's so
It is.
cute.
It is, Diane. It's trivia time.
We're getting ready for when Awesome comes on shortly.
Mm.
Hello Man 2. Hello Man? I don't know that one, MB.
Hollow Man.
Hollow Man.
Don't think that was H.G. Wells. But yeah, the original, I think, 1936 broadcast by Orson Welles about a cylinder slowly spinning and opening. Oh my God. Yes,
Just trying to be included.
that was quite an extraordinary event in itself. I think the show went for about 50 minutes or 55 minutes. People committed suicide. Not kidding. All sorts of terrible things because they believed what they were hearing was true. It was your 1936 version of Boyd. The Island of Dr. Moreau is also his work. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know Dr. Moreau was his work.
Is it really?
Charlotte's listening as she pulls weeds.
I can hear those weeds screaming.
Yeah.
That's,
If you listen carefully,
that's the
as the
cow's
weeds
food.
are coming out of the ground, you can hear this, "Don't do it, Awesome."
No, not Awesome. It's
Yeah, but the
Charlotte.
weeds don't know any different. It's an attack of the Awesome. MBS Riz says, yes it is, I read a lot.
Oh, well, I just learnt something new.
What's your favourite book? this might sound silly, but one of my favourite books from a long time ago, which I still think is one of my favourite books, is Jungle Book.
And that's about the last time you read a book.
No, I've used to read a lot.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know they did that.
Da, 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 da.
Where's
Da,
Wally?
da, 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 da.
I like Where's Wally. You know what they did once,
Forever Autumn.
JP, on the, you know, you got your maps on your phone. You know your maps. I went to look something up once, and I've still got the picture on my phone, or it was a weather page or something, and here's a little Where's Wally hiding in the screen.
My grandkids drive me nuts with Where's Wally, because I'll pick about 10 of them, and they go, you missed that, you missed that. That one's obvious, should have seen that one. And then they ask me to play computer games with them. They give me the little controllers. I'm looking up, going, what do I do now? They go, just do that. And then they kill me, and they go, unlucky. And they do it again. I say, I'm not playing anymore. Come out in the garden, I'll show you how to grow vegetables. Pertram by Patrick Suskind. They made a film about it.
The Perfume. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. I did like them. I don't know who did this, but the movie called Like Water for Chocolate. That was a good movie. That actually was
Never
about
seen it.
cooking. Yeah, it's called Like Water for Chocolate. It was about cooking.
Waterford,
Like water for chocolate.
like water for chocolate.
And it's about cooking, how you put your emotions in cooking, and then when people eat your food,
You share your emotions?
you share your emotions because it's usually around a table. Yeah, it was a good
I'm sort of
movie.
an emotive guy then.
It was a good movie. Oh my God. Really, Charlotte?
That's not a good sign. If you found a snake skin,
Be careful. Oh, stay tuned. We are waiting for news from Charlotte.
just see Charlotte now in the khaki uniform,
Film it.
strap of bullets, a big shotgun. Where are you?
So you know that movie, Diane?
Where are you? Yes, One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest was a good movie. And always, for me, Buttercup, I never forget the old North American Indian guy pushing the broom. That was very well done. You were smaller, but I touched it with bare hands. You're still talking about the snake, Charlotte, aren't you?
Oh, stop it. Yes, please post a comment so we know. Yeah, good idea. Glad you told her that, JP. And film it, Charlotte, film it.
We've got a very funny comedian. He's a little fella called Carl Barron in Australia. And his comedy is all based on how you live your life and what you do. Very simple, but very funny. And he says he was over in America once. And he said, I ordered a pizza hours ago, didn't come. I tried a different company and ordered a pizza, didn't come. So what I did was I phoned 911 and ordered a pizza with a lot. And the lady said, you're wasting valuable resources. He said, yeah, but it's the only way I'm going to get a bloody pizza. Apparently, like in Australia, if your pizza doesn't arrive in a certain time, it's free. Dial up, yeah, I'll have 2 of those. 20 minutes, oh, they're late, they come to the door. You've been credited. Here's your 2 pizzas for free. You've been credited your money back. On Golden Pond was a good movie. He is very funny, Carl Barron. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? MB, have you seen the Netflix series Highlander? Or is it Outlander? Outlander, I think it's called. With Jamie and a Sassenach. Have you seen that one? And there's an old 1961 I Am Highlander. I salute you. Secret salute from a Highlander to a Highlander.
Yes, Highlander is very good, MB.
No, Outlander.
Oh, sorry, Outlander.
But there was an old movie,
Yeah, Outlander.
and it was made about 1956 to 58, I think, redone in 60s, called Lord of the Flies. It's got a lot of metaphor meaning in the movie itself, but well worth seeing. So one of the oldies and goldies, is called Lord of the Flies.
Oh my god, yeah, that was a bit
Check
scary.
it out.
That was a bit scary, actually.
It's very much like Boit. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about.
That was a bit scary, Lord of the Flies.
Yep. Piggy! Piggy!
Ah. Gotta put my phone on the
And for
charger.
years and years, I had a collection on my computer, which I lost, unfortunately, was old silent movies. I'm a big fan of Buster Keaton, Charles
Oh,
Chaplin.
okay, she's live, is she?
Who's
Okay.
live? Awesome.
Yeah.
That's our cue. We're only paid to go this far, guys. After she opens,
Yes.
no more money. So head over to Awesome
There
Hookers.
she is.
There's free chocolate pancakes for everyone.
Yeah, chocolate chip pancakes.
Get over there now. Don't muck about. Go on, get out of it. Go on, go, go, go now.